Fuga, se les fue el torito, hijo. Antes de que me agarren a la bestia. Agarramos el Drake, pero mataron al.
Sí, pero el fit ya es nivel 7, morro. A ver si ahorita no me voltea y me tire el.
Se le acabó la. Sigue este vato, no estoy ahí, morro. Y se pone bien agresivo, loco, morro. Guay.
Ahí voy, morro, ahí voy, ahí voy, ahí voy. Ahí voy por acá.
¡Ah! Pared, morro. Ponle cola, ponle cola.
Pues no, morro, se curó. Ah, usó el smite.
Ah, ok.
Smite, tío.
No, es la aventó buena entonces. Ven, ayúdame a quitar aquí esta madre de aquí, morro. Ahí está. Sube el 6, mijo. Sube. Mira, hay una guarda ahí, quita la guarda ahí para que te experiencia.
Ya, morro, ya subí ese ahí, ahorita con la guardita esa. No está el Fice.
Ujú.
Ahí va el.
G otra vez a la bestia, morro. Nomás sea 6, voy a clavar al Jean a la bestia. ¿Ves? Todavía no soy nivel 5, ¿yo por qué? Esta ruca. Anda el G aquí a la vez, morro, a la vez. Bueno, bueno, ni pedo.
Yo voy acá.
¿Estás solo, eh? Aquí viene el G, morro. No, pues atina, mijo.
No, pues sí.
Ahí está. Está para atrás ya. Aquí viene el Fizz.
Lucha porque el sí tiene ultimate.
Ahí está.
Usó el ultimate, ¿no viste? Sí, ¿no?
¿Quién, el Fizz?
Sí.
Simón, sí lo usó.
Espero mancharme las botas con sangre. Este color es un poco aburrido.
Ya sería el Drexona. Que no va a estar a clavar, mijo.
Aquí está el G.
Ay, se la pasa para acá este vato.
Ahí va el morro allí.
Pinche G, morro, se le lleva acá abajo. Shh, qué feo ulti, mijo.
No, era
Pero
para
está bien.
escaparlo, morro, nomás.
Sí, te clava el vato, morro. Te clava el vato, mejor, la neta, morro.
Ah,
Te hace suyo, mijo.
es lo guay, morro.
Está bien, mijo, está bien. Malo sería que no supieras, morro, que te hace suyo el vato, morro. Malo fuera, morrón. ¿Quién esto lo cual? Mira dónde va a ser G acá abajo, morro.
Pues como dices, no quiere salir de ahí, morro. Al top ya no lo han quedado para nada. Allá está el Fizz. Cántasela, morro. Si te gustó o algo, morro.
Dale.
Pues el Fizz no sigue sin aparecer, morro.
Lo voy a clavar al Jin, morro, da muy buena feria. Todo el mundo da feria de ellos, morro, la bestia, güey. A ver si lo puedo clavar. Vamos a agruparnos, cuando nos agrupemos, el combo wombo.
Simón. Ah, le cayó al top, mira, ahora sí. Corre, 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 escápate. No, ya no.
Ahí está, doble abajo, mejor así, ¿ves? Mientras el G esté arriba, amor, nomás dime, amor, para que se mueran. Watch está allí, ándale. Voy por el G, mijo. Ulti, ulti, ulti. Caca. Caca, tírale, mijo. Hazte para atrás. ¿Dónde está? Él hubiera clavado al nocturno, pero le dio culo al vato, amor.
Simón. Cúbreme media ahí, morro.
Simón. Mira, ahí anda. Anda agresiva la morroca, bo.
La, la DC, morro.
Simón.
Que
Pues no estoy allá,
loca la
morro.
raza,
Mira,
morro.
ahí anda la segunda torre. Rújale, mijo,
Simón, morro.
En 10 segundos tengo mi ulti. Lo vamos a divear,
Pero acá en la segunda torre, morro.
Simón, ojo. Lo bueno que no te clavaron, mijo. Pero
Simón.
mataron al heraldo.
Vamos a rotar para bot, morro.
Simón. ¿Trae algo la ruca? Guacha, guacha, guacha.
Zigzaguea, zigzaguea.
No se va, no se va.
Si tienes daño, morro.
¡A huevo, morro!
¿Viste,
Aquí está el G,
vato?
morro. Aquí está el G.
Treleando.
¡Ah! No, córrele, 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 que no te van a clavar. Bueno, ya llegó este vato. Se quedó parado el Fizz. Esto. Viste que se quedó parado, morro.
Simón,
Ya.
sí, sí, se
Ya
entregó.
rompimos el espíritu, morro.
Se
Rompimos el
entregó,
espíritu de
Rodri.
este vato. Ya dijo, ya me llevó a chingada, dijo, no me puede- con el Malfa no va a poder, morro. Simón, socio.
Se hubieran robado, dirías tú, morro.
Simón, sí, morro, sí, porque este vato no tiene uso de este. ¿Qué será bueno?
¿Listo para el combo, morro?
Vamos, vamos al medio, morro. ¿Matar los de arriba o qué?
¿Quieren?
Vamos para arriba, hay dos para arriba, mijo. El Fizz que te ha hecho suyo, mijo, por todos.
Voy 5-1, morro. ¿Cómo que me he hecho, mi? Este vato descarado.
Ya. Ahí está ese vato. Órale, órale, órale. Ya, ya corrió, ya corrió, ya corrió. Dile, 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 dile algo, hijo, dile. Se le vio en las nalguitas nomás, dile, dile.
Qué sardina, morro. Ahí nomás me agarró. Simón, sí me la aplicaron, morro. Lo peor que di feria.
Sí, no te estoy diciendo que te están haciendo leña, morro, pero tú, voy 5-1. Bien. Y mira, mira, te bolsearon ahí, carnal. Te bolsearon, morro. Hijo de...
Sigues de robakills, morro.
No tienen daño estos vatos, mijo.
Este
No tienen daño, morro. La Samira que va 2-9. 2-9 la han clavado, mijo. No, no, pues ¿para qué le vamos a dar kills a la Samira, morro? La enchufan bien feo, morro. Tenemos una Irelia, morro.
sí es el top, morro.
No se ha visto, morro. Vamos para allá, vamos para allá. Túmbale la guarda.
Vamos porque aquí anda el GE. ¿Ves? Y ahí viene el Blitz también.
Ya, Patricio, mijo, ¿eh? ¿O vas a ultear?
No, él, morro, pues no,
No.
ya. Ya no, morro. Dirías
No,
tú.
que te estás entregue y entregue, mijo. Dices que no. Y dices que no.
Te arrancan y
Y
me
dices
dejan
que
ahí.
no. Mira, era mucho, morro. Ahí está. Varón, pinguea varón, mijo. El vato, y te le digo, se entrega y no, que voy 5-1, que no sé qué. 5-3 va ya, carnal,
5-3, morro, pues me
Aliviánese.
chiscaste, morro.
Te chisqué, morro, te chisqué.
Sí, morro.
Este vato. Que no se salga de las manos el juego, morro, Acuérdate que tienen un G, morro.
Simón, y es el que tiene la skill, morro.
Ujú. Y el Jin también, va 9-5 el Jin. Uy, a la bestia. Ya se entregó, mijo. Lo dejaron solo. Ahí está. ¿Varón?
Simón, fuga.
Espérate, espérate, no lo empieces, no lo empieces, no hay ese, no hay nadie, mijo, espérate. A ver, cae para acá, vamos a ver.
Vente, 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 vente.
Me escapé con 70 de sangre, morro. Listo. A la bestia, morro. Una metralla, ¿le aventaste tú la de hielo o qué?
Simón.
¿Está curada esa metralla, morro?
No, la metralla es la de la Samira, morro.
Órale, órale, órale.
Yo nomás la aventé para estonearlo.
Inhibidor y varones. Ya van a salir, Yo no sé por qué Face me está enfocando a mí bien sardina, morro, Ah, pues estoy feria. Vamos para allá, voy para allá, voy para allá, voy para allá.
Acá vamos a esperarlos. Ahí vienen por ahí.
Truce, 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 truce. Reviente la burbujita de ese, morro. Ah, uy, ahí vienen por mí, morro.
Aquí viene el G. Corre, morro, corre. No le entró
Ya,
este
morro,
vato, no
ya.
le entró este
Si,
vato.
si ya no entraron, ¿para qué entren, morro? Lo que te estoy diciendo es
Pues,
si ya no entraron, pues ya no
pues este
peleen,
vato
morro.
le sacó un solo último y yo dije se va a meter, lo que quiere es visión. Por eso flashé, morro.
No, pues vamos a entregarnos a la vez. Sí, morro, como te digo, morro, si no entraron ya, pues ¿para qué entran así, morro? Ya nos habían clavado a nosotros, no sé para qué entraste. Ya habían clavado a la Samira y a la Irelia, morro. Pregúntete, ¿qué estás haciendo, morro? Exactamente, mijo. Dile que te vendió, morro. Un combo, mijo, pues, no hemos hecho ningún combo, morro. Has andado de candil nomás, carnal. Vamos, yo te hago cubro, carnal. Contra el G, morro, Espérame. Es el alma ya, carnal,
¿Jugan entonces por el Drake?
Arre, pues. Acuérdate, ¿entras tú o entro yo primero?
Arre, morro. Entro yo, amor.
Arre. Vamos a checar el Yen de abajo, moro. Perfecto. Mira, cáele, mijo, cáele.
No, pues estoy lejos, morro. Estoy acá con el Drake. Con este
¿Usted,
vato. Estoy lejos.
usted no sale, mijo? ¿Usted no sale?
Cúbrela, morro. Ahí voy aquí.
Ya no tengo ulti. Qué bueno que me dijiste que la ocurriera, morro. La verdad, no se me fue el rollo. Sí, la neta,
Cáele,
carnal, la
¿qué
neta,
se va a
morro.
hacer, morro? ¿Qué se va a hacer?
Arre. Te apoyo, carnal. Pero no tengo ulti, Pues lo tiré.
Ok,
Pues te apoyo, carnal, Te apoyo. Tengo dos chingaderas, morro, para adelantar.
ok, aguanta. Ahí viene, mira.
Ándale,
Bachaste.
Simón. Muy buena, carnal, muy buena. Te hice caso, carnal, Te
Pues
hice
ahí
caso.
está el Drake, morro,
Eh,
aseguradito.
¿Ves? ¿Ves, mijo? Te maltrato porque te quiero, carnal, ¿ves? ¿Ves, morro? Vamos. ¿Ves, morro? Quiero que sepas, mijo, que te maltrato porque te estimo, carnal. Puedes dar más que eso.
Se entregó, morro.
El madre se me ríe nomás. Oh.
Cuatro, morro, ¿verdad?
Y no fue en vano, mijo.
No
No
fue
fue
en
en vano,
vano, morro.
No fue en vano, morro. Vamos a ganar ya.
Pero ve la Samira, se murió con el último, morro. Te quiso pinguear tu último, morro, y ya lo habías usado.
¿Quién lo quiso
La
pillar?
Samira, pues mira, ahí
No
dice
se ve.
Samira, dice Myfal R, 68 segundos. Lo tenías en cooldown, pues.
Sí, pues sí, lo usé contigo, morro, porque
Lo
te
usaste.
aventaste un muy buen ulti.
Voy por bot, morro. No voy para allá, pues. Van a hacer el. Ahí voy para allá.
Ya se
Trucha, morro.
vendieron,
Trucha. Acá corre para abajo.
Ahí está.
Morro.
No, va, otra vez nos entregamos. Voy a vender las guardas ya, carnal, La neta, morro.
Sí, morro.
O vendo el Kimo Turbo.
No, el
Salen de
Kimoturbo
control,
no,
carnal.
morro.
¿Cómo?
El Kimoturbo no, que no.
Ya lo vendí, morro. Me compré la capa de fuego, morro.
Ok.
Ahí está. Varón.
Ahí voy, morro, pero ya se entregó, pues, la Irelia.
Ahí, tanqueo.
Cállate, morro. No sigas.
Empiézalo.
Que no le toca la Irelia, morro.
Tuyo para atrás, Ahí está el Blitz, mijo, agárralo. Pelada, mijo. Aquí está el Blade. Bueno,
Es todo, morro.
estuvo.
Tu última. No, no lo alcanzas ya.
No lo alcanzo, morro. Ahí está. Va en medio, en medio, en medio. Mira, se me fue, morro. El ancestral ya en 50 segundos, carnal.
Simón.
¡Mira! Me flashó, morro. Buen flash, loco. ¿Y ustedes qué están haciendo, morro, Tardaron un poquito en llegar, morro, Se fueron a la base. Fueron a
Morro.
comprar, morro. Guacha, la roca sin visión. Oh my god, asquerosa. Bueno. Hagan ancestral, mijo.
Simón. Pero no les va a tocar, morro, más que a la Samira.
No hay pedo, mijo. Tú. Ni a la semilla le tocó.
Ahora sí el combo, morro.
Fuga, mijo. Medio. Pinguea medio. Te
Aguanta,
espero, mijo.
déjame, sí, espérame ahí para, voy a
Simón.
comprar un artículo y ya. Juga.
¿Qué te esperábamos, social? Yo estoy full artículos, yo, carnal. Nomás me queda vender las guardas. No tiene flash el marrano del Jin, morro.
Juga mid, morro.
Full mid, Simón. Tenemos ancestral, morro. Tenemos ancestral. ¿Quieres que me vaya por el Jin o te hago cuando tú te metes me meto yo?
Simón.
Simón, ¿qué?
Cuando yo me meta, entras tú, morro.
Arre. Pues no agarraste a nadie, carnal. Es todo. Y esa mamada, carnal. Fue el.
El ancestral, morro, pues ya quedó en 20%. Como ya lo había clavado, ya estaba casi muerto, morro.
Oh,
Pues
qué
el
bueno.
poder del ancestral.
Pinche rayo láser.
Lo atravesó, guachaste, bro.
Lástima que no te puedo dar doble honor, carnal. Porque te aventaste esa. Oh my god, güey, cara, qué buena te la aventaste, morro. Ufa, coyote. ¿Ves, mijo? Así juega, morro. Mira, así me gusta que juegues con la Neeko, morro. Así, güey. Guacha, morro.
Morro.
Oh, te la aventaste buena, carnal. Yo dije, ya se le fue. Y de repente nomás sale el láser que te sale.
Atraviesa medio mapa, no, morro.
Sí, yo creo que el vato se quedó así como que, what the fuck. ¿Tenías dots? ¿Tenías esa madre que hace daño con el tiempo?
Nel. No, 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 sino que ustedes le bajaron, yo le pegué, pero lo
Ujú,
bajaron al 20, antes de que le bajaran como a un cuarto de vida.
ujú.
Entonces en eso ustedes le bajaron al cuarto de vida y como ya le había pegado, pues ahí fue cuando...
Órale, no, pues, está súper buenísimo el ancestral entonces.
Sí, no, pues sí, por eso te digo, y tienes que buscar la pelea a fuerzas porque llegando al cuarto, ahí es muerte, morro. Es muerte segura, pues. Aunque hubiera flashado el vato.
En un cuarto de sangre es mucho, mijo, a la vez, tío.
Pues sí.
Yo ahorita me escapé con 79 de sangre, morro.
No, pues ahí no te hubieras escapado, morro.
No, ahí. No, sí, a ver si me hubiera castrado, mijo. Tenía 4000 de sangre. Me ponen me bajan a 1000 y con eso me liquida la bestia,
Con
morro.
eso te da cuello, Simón.
Y yo, 1000 de sangre es mucho. Muy bien, mijo. Está bien. Estoy reconsiderando a tu señora Neeko, morro.
Este-
through seemingly nothing here, and it's just turrets.
Yeah, it's
That's
turrets as well as the Teddy effect. I don't
Yeah.
know. Teddy hits around 15 minutes and then gets more farm than his opponent. It's one of like the special things on his card. Like if you pull the Teddy card out of your booster pack, it's like apply 20 CS when the timer hits 15 minutes. Because they were struggling in the lane, but of course Teddy's ahead by 10.
So it's like a pre-evolution of Chovy, who has like the better version of that same perk.
Yeah, might
Because
actually.
he has plus 30.
Yeah. No,
Oh, that works.
he also finds minions that don't exist on the map.
Ah,
So
it's a different archetype.
Even
Thank
even your teammates can also have like extra CS perks because Chovy just pulls them out of thin air. That's sort of how that one works. Certainly had a great day yesterday. Good old Chovy.
And with the current state of the game, DRX is still very much able to just hit the 2 item spikes, right? Like, look at this. King in. Not quite stacked on the Manamune, but does have that positive eclipse. 2 items on Pioshi, 2 items on Solka. Bao finished his core items. Yes, he's still going to be looking towards as Cyril does, but he's going to be doing absurd amounts of damage if he can actually land the poke.
I actually wouldn't mind him to even prioritize the Duskblade earlier because the extra lethality in a poke composition could be very strong. But we'll see what he does.
I agree. I think it's the combination of the armor penetration against a rather beefy frontline in Kana, Kuz, and Carrier combined with the potential to kite back and use the slow. But if you go for like the big blowout team fights, then Duskblade is pretty insane. So
Not to mention ability haste being pretty good at getting more Qs.
it is.
And now DRX do find another bubble. This is what their comp can do, right? And Mountain Rift, even though it's not exactly the greatest soul for them, like they would have loved to get an Infernal, right? Mountain Rift is a Zoe soul.
Oh yeah.
Because you can bubble through so many more things on this one. So, I mean, that works out for DRX, and they get that without actually having to kill the Drakes, which is pretty cool.
On the flip side, Kana's also like, yes, more walls.
Yeah, that's actually a good
Thank
point.
you. I don't know who benefits more from it, because you know, Ezreal can jump over walls. Kingen is also happy to have some defense. I guess it depends on who plays better, because if Kana finds a big smackdown into specifically that wall right there, you see in the, like the left part of the screen.
Yeah.
Then otherwise wouldn't be there. Then we can call it.
Well, Faker doesn't like more walls.
He doesn't. No, he's had
Not as happy about that.
and it says a lot about the form of T1 that yes, Faker is getting behind, but it doesn't really warp the game to a point where we'd be worried. There've been iterations of T1 where if Faker wasn't carrying, we'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
oh boy, this is not looking well. But you can see the rest of the team, particularly Kana, whose turret pressure and just overall presence on the map have been super good this game.
And also, Faker doesn't need all that many resources to do his job in a team fight as well, right? Like, Teddy's been funneled quite a lot, but, you know, Faker on the Victor is just wanting to get these spells out over and over again. He has his Zhonya's now, and so going to be pretty comfortable there. And it's going to be on, you know, Teddy to find some options as far as backline. And if T1 can find their picks that they're looking for and utilize the incredible amount of map control that they've bought for themselves with all of these turrets that they've been able to take, as you can see, it's 4-1 on the turrets. T1 have done their job as far as denying what a poke composition needs, which is control of the map, but they do still need to make something happen with it.
And T1, I'm super impressed with how well they've been able to weather the storm. They need to kind of wait out this power spike from DRX though, because I feel like if you give them a leg up now, you might get into trouble, but if you weather the next 5 minutes,
Dile que no,
and
mijo.
stay even, don't give them soul.
Dile que el combo es contigo,
Don't
amor.
even give them soul point, don't give them Baron, then DRX
Dile,
will
amor.
scale
Dile
in, or lack
que
of
te
scale
roban a
is
tu
kind of
soporte,
gonna
carnal.
kick in.
Oh
No
my,
way.
are we really doing this? Is this really happening? Okay, no, it's given away. DRX in the area. This
Going.
is ballsy from T1, yeah. Down to about half health on the Baron. T1 desperately wanting to get DRX over to this area. They are going to get their wish. As DRX wanting to try and layer some of this poke. This Baron down to about 3,000 and T1, of course, they don't want to flip. As Pyosha going to take a bit of damage from the Baron. Now it's the blue buff being delivered over to Faker. Slow comes in. There's the Zenith Blade as Teddy comes on over. Can they lock him down? The flash forward Teddy, so aggressive as the horse will fall. Carrier taking a fair bit of damage as the Chaos Storm getting hyper value in the backline. I don't know how T1 have done this or why they decided to go for that Baron, but it worked out beautifully.
And we said T1, they have a composition where you need to pull the trigger. Well, they pulled the trigger there. Flash forward from Faker, flash forward from Teddy, flash forward from Carrier. It's still risky to go for this Baron because there's so much poke available.
It's not a flip anymore though because there's no smite available on DRX's side. However, this is a poke composition. It wants to be in these sort of spots where they can just throw buttons at their opponent. That is going to force T1 away. The horse back up in 3 seconds time. T1 just taking 1 kill out of that. And now, it looks like this Mountain Drake will be taken by DRX. So after all the dust settles, this actually is a win for DRX.
It's a win. You trade your jungler. Unfortunate, sure. As Pyosha yet again gets caught in position where he's not really allowed to be he just gets greedy, right? And this is miscommunication because you can't do this if the rest of your team not there. If everyone else is there, you're fine. Instead, he has to use everything that he has defensively. Will still go down in the very end. Also, look at this flash forward from Faker that's about to come in here because if he doesn't get exhausted,
Dun, dun, dun.
I think DRX gets chunked way more, and then T1 might feel a lot more
Invaderlo,
comfortable
mijo, ya
going for that
sabes.
follow-up
Sí,
Baron.
amor.
Instead,
Hijo de tu madre.
¿Qué, morro?
Estoy viendo streams para darte ideas, borro. Y este vato está streamando en tanga, borro, a la vez. Hijo de su pinche madre. La raza, borro.
Todo por llamar la atención, morro.
Pues de eso se trata, la verdad. Llamar la atención, ¿no?
After that, no messing up at all, T1. Make sure that you're paying attention.
Hijo de... No, pues no mames,
1,500
loco.
gold already here.
No seas loco, borro. No seas
DRX,
loco.
right? They've come back from worse.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely have. Sort of their their way. And with the fact that it's 4-2 in turrets, this lead is basically not real. As Kingen going to find a few friends. Pioshik also going to get rid of Teddy immediately after the Killer Instinct. A lot of CC, takes about 4 turret shots, and Teddy will be taken down. The Jace is going to be traded, but now Cuz running into the enemy base is precisely not what you want. So here's the mess up.
¡Yo! Nos estudió los
So
dos,
they're
bro.
not going to lose the Drake. However, still a bad sign.
Timing, not the worst, but the play there was an attempt from T1 to salvage the side lane pressure. You do have the availability of the Killer Instinct for Kai'Sa to try and set these plays. However, there's two prerequisites. One, you need to actually be able to kill Kingen, which they did, but it took way too long.
No debes caer tan bajo así como este va.
Part of the jungle, they didn't actually know
Estoy viendo este vato que juega. Hay un simulador de troque, carnal. Un juego. Simón, mucha la gente del sur le encanta ese juego, morro. Que se pone a conducir un camión.
Simón.
O un trailer.
The position a Victor is in love with as Becca has to get out of there. Pioshik as well is almost dead. Carry is going to
Y
be
se ponen con la canción de los temerarios, morro, acá.
But the Baron is still going to be warded off, and that was 100% because Faker existed. He almost has that Chaos Storm back available as well. As Kingen's going to turn up one more time. I believe he's completely invisible to T1. Now Teddy getting to the area, and now we're just going back again as they force the reset. The Braum is still backing the Pioshik's coming from base right now. Fast. Bubbles still getting on in here. Yeah, remember, this is Kai'Sa. She does do a lot of damage to the Baron, but once again, T1 are not willing to flip, and they back away. But the gold lead is shrinking. That Drake still belonged to DRX, and the more T1 do this and don't get anything for it, the worse it's going to be.
And I like the idea of catching someone in the side lane, but again, the rest of T1 isn't actually ready to follow up on this play. And look at this fear, because it puts Teddy in a position where he takes 2 extra turret shots, otherwise that Kai'Sa might be way healthier. Just has to basically say, okay, I'm deader anyway, I'm just going to try and run through the base store as long as I can. And then it is the combination of, as you say, the Victor who loves people clumping up in tight spaces, even without his Chaos Storm, and also Connors, who's like playing so well to the limits of this Gnar. You know the moment that Mega Gnar comes in, you need to be out of there.
Yeah. The death rate value that Faker was getting there, as you can see, was very, very high as we're going to jump back into this one. Kingen taking a bit of damage here from Canna, but trading it back relatively well as well. Sterix is now on the Gnar, so the trading is going to be a little bit more difficult for this Jace in the side lanes, who is building towards his armor penetration, so that's going to help.
Ya es la jungla enemiga, la quinta, ¿no?
Faker's got a lich bane, man. This guy is looking to
Simón.
extend the trade.
Te la aplicó ya, carnal.
Ya habrá aplicado por
in his
jugar el
jungle,
vivo.
that is precisely
Simón.
not
Deja explicarme
what you
cómo
want.
está el último de la Kindred, morro. ¿Hay que salirse del círculo o hay que seguirle pegando?
Seguir en el círculo. Pero es inmune tanto tú como él, ¿eh?
Entonces pegarle a alguien más.
Simón, solamente que él se salga del círculo, entonces sí.
Entonces, no gastar los skills, entonces, ¿cuál es el
Simón,
plan
sí,
para...?
esperarte. Y luego ya, le tiras todo.
Once you actually get on top of King and he doesn't have flash, he dies very quickly to Udyr and Gnar. Not a lot that is in there in terms of counterplay for him. Drake will go over. I was thinking maybe DRX, if they want to play it greedy, they can try and look for a play on that Baron, or at least threaten it at the very least, force T1 into a comfortable macro position. But instead, it looks like this game, like the first game yesterday, is just going to go the distance, Atlas, because it doesn't looking like there's any resolvement as of yet. We always need to be careful, but it's not a jinx ult.
I saw like
Ok, me estoy jugando para allá.
Super Mega Death Rocket, and I was like, it's okay. There's no need to get excited at this stage. You may have been thinking that the teleport was available, Kingen was going to spawn as the Drake was spawning, but one of the really important things to understand about a poke composition is you need setup, right?
Anda arriba la Kindred, morro.
Setup, which is why they had to forfeit the Drake, no matter what, just in case anyone was curious. But this gold lead has not changed, Chronicle. It is flatlined this game. This is like very slow, cool, calm, connected. And yes, this was a mistake from Kingen, but didn't really cost DRX too much other than losing a timer towards that potential Mountain Drake for themselves.
¿Y les ayuda?
Simón, a que vengo.
They're looking for Faker right now as the gravity field is going to work. The flash comes
Dale, mijo, dale, está
out,
alentado.
charge. Only going to move Faker closer to safety, but Flash
Oh.
away from the Victor, so
Kick.
important.
This time Faker does have the Zhonya's available,
Vamos,
so
pilla.
while the flash being gone is still a dangerous position.
Ahí me
to
tiraron
be in.
todo,
Not
morro,
as
me
bad as a
querían.
lot of SBs, 'cause
He's supposed to be tanky. Gonna have to flash out as well. Count him. That is 2 flashes now down, and DRX using this as a sign to potentially go for this Baron. Nara's on the bottom side of the map, teleport in hand. And it is going to come through here. Let's see whether DRX can actually find this. As they're looking to try and collapse on the one, I do like the idea. However, Canna is able to get out of the way with that extra movement speed.
and both teams are playing
Ya,
really,
Patricio,
really
mijo.
respectfully.
Simón.
It makes sense considering this is a best of 5, and it's just, it feels so good to get an initial play.
Ánimo,
right,
carnal.
as
Andas
they
jugando
still
bien, bien,
go for
morro.
Baron.
A esta hora deberíamos empezar a jugar, a las 2 de la mañana. La
Alright, here's the team fight. Big Nara into the wall, but only really landing onto Becca, who goes golden as well, soaking so much of this damage. Chaos Storm is going to wear out as Teddy tries to be a hero 1v3 in the back line. Does he have the ability to keep himself alive? He flashes into the wall, will be taken down, and Bao will survive. And T1 are limping away from this battle. Faker now in trouble. Remember that flash from earlier? Yeah, you ain't getting out of that one. And Pioshik will take down the man in the mid lane, and T1 make
Que
the
pusiste guarda en el deck y ya
Ya
te
me
la
la
quitó.
quitaron.
Morro.
¿Quién la
They
quitó?
Ya,
want
amor.
to pull the
La
trigger,
Kindred anda ahí.
understandably, but I feel like, as you said, they blew everything on Becca. It's just a Braum. He stalls with his shield, then he stalls with the stopwatch, and that means that
Ahí está.
DRX, after all, now going to be
Ándale,
able to pick
marrano.
up the Baron here. And a poke composition with Baron at this point in the game is insane.
Yeah.
And normally I'd say this is like a last hurrah for DRX, but if I see how well they're playing, I don't actually know, Atlas, as
Cáele para acá abajo.
everything gets used. Kana tries to go for the hop, is forced to,
Ojo, ojo, ojo,
use
se está pegando,
his
se está pegando,
flash, and
carnal.
I think that he thought that Sorka was what Becca was, but Sorka was coming from the top side of the pit, so you don't
Ya, ya,
actually
mejor
get
vete tu
anything.
línea,
Instead, he goes in
Simón.
super huge, or if you blow up
Sí,
Bao
morro, estás
there,
teniendo mucha experiencia.
fine. You know, you can salvage this fight, but instead, basically everything gets thrown to kill a Braum. Pioshik still has his ultimate available throughout this entire team fight. Faker doesn't even get to click his stopwatch.
Eso porque el Corki iba para abajo, morro.
And getting siege on with this composition is bad, but even worse, in 1 minute and 40 seconds, is that soul point,
¿Me
Atlas?
escuchaste, morro?
Exactly. And this
Simón,
Baron
Simón.
should be able to taxi into that one very, very comfortably. And this is something that you don't necessarily have
hasta en
to
la
talk
base,
about when it comes to poke compositions, because once the
Simón,
poke
ahí viene en
composition
chinga con
is
su
in a
madre.
good spot, sieging becomes kind of irrelevant because you've already done your job and you should be winning the game. However,
Fue por los
we
cohetes,
now
¿no?
need to mention, because we're
Simón.
at that point in the game,
Cruz
Pokemon's
está la
are
Kindred
really
arriba.
good at sieging, like super ridiculously mega good at sieging. As you could understand, they have a lot of range, they have a lot of damage that they can throw down without having to commit to anything, and that makes things real tough. They can also put Pioshik in the side lane if they would like to, because his job in the poke comp is be a horse. I guess.
Yes. Be a offensive or defensive horse, depending on what the moment calls.
Espero que no sepa que congela la línea hasta acá atrás y puso guarda.
As long as you carry stay alive, you're happy.
Well, he's just going to dive in underneath this turret, able to sprint his way out as well, as you can see, buying a lot of space to get damage down. They have this siege minion doing a fair bit of work as well. And this turret not going to last very long whatsoever. As the last few autos, this should be the inhibitor going down. You saw Canna was able to get that minion wave move towards that top side very comfortably. So DRX is going to have to do a little bit more housekeeping before they can break apart the base anymore. Now, this inhibitor, they're looking to try and take this before they get out. Voidseeker
Tiene
not
flash, el
find
Corki,
too
mijo.
much joy.
Nel.
T1 still trying to get this setup in position. T1 now feeling like it's their opportunity to move in. Does
Escucha
over
porque
to
ahí
the
va
side,
para
Bubble
abajo.
will connect, base gate going to be there, but still going to get chunked. Solka does so much damage. And
Escucha
now
porque
Kepler's
ahí va el
gonna
Corki
dive
para
forward,
abajo.
gets the Gnar back on two, good wallop, and Bao disappears from the fight. Now
Entramos
running
el
away
Drake, morro.
is the Udyr, not going to be so safe, but the bottom lane's dead. The
Mira,
Jace is
se lo
dead.
hicieron,
And
morro.
Is a full health carrier, able to get all of his CC down, and DRX be lying on the floor. Kerry even presses his stopwatch. He will. No, I was about to say that he was going to go down. Eventually he does. But that is the ace for T1, and the teleports erupt on the top side of the map. Faker will return the favor, and the inhibitor wasn't even taken.
It's the OG T1 special. They look like you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's going on. They're
They're
with
like an
one team
injured gazelle with a minigun hiding in their pocket.
One team fight is all they need, and it is Kana that finds the engage. And we didn't at the time because so much has been happening in the last couple of minutes of this game, but you saw when Bao went for that, and not actually gonna end. I got a little overexcited. How can you not? And I think if that was Kana, they might have actually been fine. But the key thing here is, how do you get on top of Bao? Because his damage is obscene at this
Doble
point
acá
in
abajo,
time.
viejo.
They get a little greedy and try
Qué
to
buen
farm
bait.
damage for Cuz, and it's Kana on the gnaw of all picks that
Oh, and
finds the
max
lockdown.
range as well. Damn, that could have looked really silly, but instead, that's probably the game-winning play if T1 walk away with game one.
Sácale plaquitas, mijo.
Because that right there is the answer to a
Uf,
solution
teleporte,
to a
teleporte.
question that is really hard for T1, which is how do you
Bueno,
deal
tenía
with
última, no me
Ezreal?
acordaba.
Zoe and Jace are somewhat immobile, right? Those are picks, especially without flash, that are pretty easy to
Hijo de tu madre, la bestia, 20 de sangre, 20 de sangre.
Acá está haciendo el arte
Getting
este
on
vato.
top of it
No,
in a
bueno.
team fight is a nightmare, and it's up to Carrier and Kana to actually make that work, because you see the moment that Ezreal goes down, there is plenty of damage on the side of T1.
Es todo,
And
amor.
Bao has also realized that, because looking at inventory, the taxes have been paid.
Indeed. QSS now put together.
Aunque se peleen, yo no tengo sangre para jugar a la cleaner.
Mejor
Mejor le saco una placa aquí con mi...
Ay. Was very popular on Ezreal initially. We've seen a lot of Duskblades put together, but despite what I was
Me
talking
tumbó la
about,
feria esta
he's
ruca.
just going to completely ignore it.
300 lanas le di, que sean 600 lanas, creo que le...
Especially against a short-range composition like T1's, I feel like you would get a lot of extra value there. But as we saw, the Drake was taken by Canna as well. And so 3.5 minutes and it's soul point for both teams. As now Kingen possibly in trouble here on the side lane as the bubble didn't actually connect there onto Cuz.
Aventaron el ulti.
Yeah, he's just running real fast. 5-0-4 on Canna's Gnar right now. And look, I've been one of the people that has
Nunca se le
said
clava.
Miguel
nasty
aventó un TP
things
aquí.
about Gnar, but after that last play, I feel like all of us Gnar haters are looking real silly.
It's just how well Kana is playing, really.
Yeah, right.
And the amount of pressure that he had, barring the very early game where, as expected, Kingen was able to put output pressure, was able to put
Ahora
a lot
Tristan
of
pa' acá, mijo.
threat, on the top laner, with a little bit of help from Cuz, who was mainly there just to make sure that Pioshi doesn't run over him. Kana has been playing so incredibly well, and the team fight threat and space that he provides for Faker and Teddy to do their thing is exceptional.
Ahí viene el corte a la
Honestly,
bestia.
the only thing in the T1 comp where I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work out, and we saw it earlier, is that Kai'Sa for Teddy, because I believe in Teddy to have a good impact, but the nature of Kai'Sa in her current form means she's so binary, right? You need to kind of go in, otherwise you don't provide a lot of value, especially into a DRX comp that has so much range available.
Yeah. Well, Super Minions are pushing down the top side. We've got a teleport in from Canna. This is very far away from this Baron that is being burst down extraordinarily quickly. Cuz wanted to get in there and make it a 50-50. Voidseeker goes wide. The Baron very low. Now Pioshik looking for the turn. Teddy avoids him completely. Devastating charge onto Faker. Teddy just going to play it defensively. I love it from this guy. His carrier will be taken down, but another flash Gnar from Canna, and he says no. We are winning game one. Faker goes golden. That's the ace. Quadra kill for Teddy, and that is going to be game.
Hijos de la verga, morro. Ya casi me iba, morro. Pero me flashó y me ultió, morro. No, me flashó y luego usó el W, me quita. Te llevas todo y encima no ayudas. ¿A quién le dice, morro? ¿A ti?
No, pues yo no voy ganando, morro. Es al feed.
Ah.
El feed va 5-1. Yo que me llevo.
Yeah.
You need time.
Just a beautifully well-played last two team fights from T1, and I can't
Le está
overstate
pidiendo
this.
ayuda,
I was
pues, si lo
expecting
están
this
enchorizando ahí
game
arriba.
to be
No,
way
pues él se
less
fue con esa
close
pick
than
bacana, morro. ¿Quién se vaya a su
I
top en estas
also-
fechas?
I also
Pues
thought that
dile, morro,
perhaps
eso,
the
alégale.
drafts
Si hubiera ido
would be
yo en el
closer
top
as
de
well.
perdida,
I feel
morro.
like DRX got almost exactly what they needed in order to win the DRX way, right?
Yep.
Because, you know, it's a split
Lo
comp,
enchorizó
but
la vez.
they're the kind of team that does love to play around these knife's edges, and they have been able to do it in the past, and it looked like it was working until, you know, Canna finds
Ahí
the
le pagamos
flash
rocando a este
Nars,
vato.
and T1 just team fights so beautifully.
It's basically, whereas the pole composition is DRX, Like, you basically have, every time these players, you have like
Sí, se
one
entregó
shot
este
to
vato.
get onto Bao, to get onto the enemy backline, right?
No,
And that's
Marroquín.
all you're looking for. And you can see Kana's charging
Vamos para allá,
on
vamos para allá.
vision.
So
And-
good though.
And that's why DRX pulled
¿Estás
the
muerto,
trigger,
mijo?
which
Simón.
makes sense, but they don't actually have the comp to do this, right? It's not a composition that excels at fighting these fights, engaging into an enemy that's kiting back. You see the Braum ultimate does basically nothing, and then Carrier, he doesn't kill Bao, but he forces the flash and
Muy
the
buena,
cleanse,
amor.
meaning that Kana comes
Hijo
in.
de su madre.
Muy buena.
Ah,
Exactly.
Pues
and
hizo-
look, you can
el
buy
sí, hizo lo
Yasun
que se
lloró,
pudo,
dijo.
carnal.
if you want. If
¿Eh?
you're just thrown
El
into
Yasun
a
lloró,
wall,
dice que va a farmear a
how
FK
many
Farming
options do you
Top.
have? Not so many. And Teddy picks up that quadra kill. I absolutely
Prefiero
love how he utilized his
farmear.
killer instinct this time around.
Estoy
He was
llorando.
hyper-aggressive
Deja voy y le ayudo,
in the
carnal, porque
previous
tiene
team
mucho
fight. Did
lagrimero.
not work out.
Me da
Actually
lástima,
looked a
amor.
little bit silly for it. Instead, what you do is you solidify your front to
4-1,
back.
madre.
Stand back with Faker, allow
Agárralo,
your
mijo.
tanks to actually do their job.
Agárralo
and
por
then
atrás, ándale.
understand that Carrier is obviously gonna land a surprise Zenith blade on the Ezreal in the backline because he's Carrier.
Duh.
Easy peasy.
Yeah,
That's
no
the
problem.
game plan.
Ahí está, le
So
salimos
instead,
todos, morro, ahí.
just killer instinct back, kill the horse, and then pick up 3 extra kills afterwards. No
Se va a
worries,
pelear,
it's in the
mijo.
textbook.
Simón.
It's a deserved
Pues
win for T1.
no, no,
but the performance
Sí, va a
from
brincar.
DRX here is also a big story of this game to me, because I
Absolutely.
think it's deserved that T1 win because they pull the trigger at the
Ya
right
se murió.
time every single time. It's
Buen
always
ulti,
done
carnal,
TIS
buen ulti.
where you're like, you're
Pa'
waiting
asustarlo,
for that
borro.
moment, and then they
No,
find
a
it,
huevo,
they
huevo,
make
bro,
it
sí,
not
huevo,
work.
por eso te digo.
But DRX
Se vio que se planeó, mijo.
looked way more like the first half of the split
No fue
DRX,
porque te
and I'm
asustaste, mijo, y
hoping
pensaste que te
that
iba a
they
clavar,
continue
mijo.
that form, 'cause then the series all
Tú
of a sudden
planeado
becomes a
eso.
lot more interesting.
It absolutely does. Let's have a look at the post-game breakdown to see who was responsible for all of those big damages. I imagine that gentleman in the mid lane is going to be doing some work, and indeed he does. 29k for Faker. Victor pretty good at doing damage. Ezreal damage and Zoe damage actually a little bit lower than expected, to be perfectly honest. I felt like Bao could have had a
Anda
little
arriba
bit
la
more of an
Kindred,
impact
morro.
that game, but shout out to Kingen, who was definitely landing a few of these shock blasts.
And it says a lot to the threat of T1, to the threat of Carrier and Kana, that were like, those were the ones you need to play around, right? As
El
Zoe and
Heraldito,
Ezreal.
man.
Those are the ones you need to avoid. If you don't know what Kana or Carrier is, you see what happens. Carrier lands a Zenith Blade over the wall.
Agarré la primera torre, mijo.
That normally
Vamos
is
a
not
desviar este
supposed to
vato antes de que nos
happen.
tumben allá.
No, it's just ridiculous. But we made a little bit of a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. So let's bring up
Está
the
la
fan
feria.
vote once again. And I actually love this. It was slightly in error, about 5% of a shift. But after this game, I'm actually feeling like there was a bit of a 5% shift back towards
Absolutely.
the DRX camp with how much
Morro.
better they were playing than expected. Of course, the result going to be what we thought. but
Pégale,
maybe
pégale, pégale,
just
puedo caer usar el
maybe
último.
things could change as we move
Bueno,
further
ahí está.
forward.
Aquí el
because
teleport.
the draft, if it's going to continue like that,
Este
maybe
vato como
DRX can
voló.
find some holes. But, ladies and gentlemen, this best of 5 will continue, but after the break.
Ayúdala. Bueno, ahí está. Aquí está mi fortuna.
Ujú,
Digo, la
no voy a
Tristana.
darlo. Pinche changuito, morro. Pújale. Nos la aplicaron, amor.
Simón, el Genal está pesado, amor.
Simón. Vámonos, Ricky.
Ahí voy a echarle esquina, pero estoy lejos.
El que se entregue este vato, hijo. $700 le quitaron a este vato. Yo doy 500 yolanas por la vez. Aguas, mijo, Ah, mira, rota para acá para el Drake, morro, para aventarnos un combo bongo cuando venga, morro. Pero no te van a clavar,
Morro. Nos salieron todos, pues.
Mm,
네. 그런 부분을 좀 10분 활용하려고 하는 것 같고요. 캐리어가 안쪽 맵.
캐리어가 안쪽 맵.
매서운데요. 기다렸다가 배치 아꼈다가
결국은 여기서
Que meta su última en la mi fortuna.
캐리어.
팝을 분명히 장면
se lo busco.
캐리어 페이커. 지원.
이것이 T1의 전투야.
말 그대로 벼락같이 들어가서 한 방에 쓸었어요. 맞았어요. 그냥 속박. 안쪽으로 들어가. 모두 이원. 네. 데미지가 한나가 일단 핑퐁. 네. 한나가 핑퐁. 한나가 들어오고요. 또 해요. 저 뒤에.
Casi clavaba la Tristana ahorita, pero. Viene te el heraldo aquí, mijo. Vamos a ayuda. Vamos a apoyo, carnal. Ya las viste, pero.
이게 싸움이 여기서 안 끝나면 앙코르 제대로 들어갔죠. 그리고 술톨기긴 했습니다만 근데 딜이 약간 모자란 느낌이 있고 앞으로 밀고 지원.
Pero ahí va el
Como
Genare.
bombo, mijo. Como bombo. Lo acabamos de matar, mijo.
O digo, la Tristana.
Cáele, pues vamos al bombo combo, carnal.
이게 일단 킬 스코어가 어마어마하게 벌어졌고요. T1이 압도적으로 이거를
Vamos a cogerlo, Es todo, carnal. Tristana.
밀리면서 보완하겠다는 거예요. 거의 다
Hija de tu perra vida, morro. Me sacó la lana, morro.
킹겐이 오래 버티긴 했어. 여기 잡혔고 여기서 추격파까지 일로 와. 추격파까지 들어가. 파워까지. 파워가 근데 좀 돌아요. 파워 나 돌아요.
Me ya subo, morro. No se ha visto en toda la pelea, morro. 2-6 a la.
싸워서 싸움으로. 그다음에 떨어졌고요. 여기서 파워가 돌면 파워가 그냥 때리면 파워가 대박이에요. 파워가 돌면 세상이 돌아요. 협곡이 돌아요. 내가 여기에 가려고.
Hasta el Ignar, mijo. Rápido, mijo. Un stun. Acá, atrás.
심지어 도망가기까지 최대한. 그러니까 다시 싸움 잘 차나요? 나중에서 양해 안 시켜.
No, pero ya.
끝난 다음에 모두에 안 시켰 다음에 그리고 해나가 또 지정해. 아니 방금 지정해가 또 미친 듯이 나이들은 그러니까
Acá atrás, oh my god.
어머니가 마무리를 못 시켜요. 지금 사이드가 어떻게든 빨갛다. 안 돼요 위에. 그래서 아래쪽도 이렇게 되면 야롱도 위험하죠.
오자마자
Mira, mijo.
언제든지 뒤를 잡을 수 있는 강점이 있는 챔피언. 마고 알리스타 그리고 조이.
¿Qué pasa, carnal? ¿Qué pasó, carnal? Tengo guardas, morro. Muy bueno, mijo. Te chingaste la Tristana, le sacaste buena feria.
Simón.
Esto.
완파가 안 맞았어요.
Guay, se le da una viola.
정글 패카. 페카리 정글 패카.
Ah, no.
Sí, morro, ya no había ni qué hacer, morro. El vato ya pegaba a la orilla.
No sigo escapada, mijo, no sigo escapada.
Las guardas ahí, morro.
No sé si lo mijo, pero no se regresa el NAR.
No le quito nada, morro.
Se ha muerto la bestia.
Sí, mo.
Bueno, bueno, locuaz.
Nico mantendrá su Soma con vida. ¿Qué hace Nico con el poder?
Estos Drakes me caen de maravilla, carnal. Son los de armadura.
Es todo, morro.
¿Mató al Corki?
Mátalo, morro.
Estamos reventados. ¿Quién hay que clavar la misfortuna? No se iba ahí, morro. ¿Varono?
Simón, fuga.
Como la Kindred no está ahí. Vamos a ver. Aquí le voy a caer a este vato, güey.
Ese ya es su, morro.
La gran y fuerte Nico va a pasar.
Voy por esa Kindred, mijo. Ya brincó, mijo, ya brincó. Ojo, ojo. Espera al Yasuo, ¿dónde está el Yasuo? Mío, ¿qué?
Voy a tirar todo, morro,
Simón, rúgele.
Nico no quiere pena, compadre. Quiere falsos quesos. Poderosa, como la felina de la jungla nivelí. Le extraño.
Trucha, morro, trucha.
Violaron a estos vatos en el medio, amor. Ahí está, y los violamos de regreso, amor.
Compartir recuerdos, colores y sentimientos es magia. La magia conecta a la gente.
¿Y así para arriba otra vez?
Simón, fuga, morro.
Arrinzona, voy contigo, carnal. Empújale la línea, mijo, empújale la línea, que no está empujada. $50 para el drake, carnal.
Simón,
Y ahí viene el bardo, ahí viene el bardo en chinguiza, morra.
Simón, fuga por él, morro.
Mira, ahí viene el narre.
todo,
¡Ay,
muy bueno.
todo!
Ahí está el
Es
modo
todo,
combo,
cale,
¿viste?
cale. Buen
Aguanta,
co- le
déjala.
aventamos todo, morro, todo le aventamos.
Sí, pues es el peligroso, morro. Ahora la Tristana,
Ujú.
Lucha porque ahí viene el Corki.
Es todo, carnal. ¿El drake?
Simón, pero ya me regresé a curarme, morro.
Yo también, morro, me escapé a peritos, morro. Oh, muy bien, carnal, muy bien. ¿Y mid, no?
Simón y Mid.
¿Tienes el ulti ya?
Sí.
Acá atrás, atrás. ¡Mátalo, mátalo!
Me mataron el Kindle. Le tiré
Ahí
todo,
está,
morro.
güey. Me flashó la tristana a la vez. Órale, órale, órale.
Este, ahí va el Field. Ah, no.
Ya se entregó otra vez. Hijo
Bien baiteado, morro.
de... Sí, bo. Ahí está otro,
Nomás
morro.
mi fortuna lo que quita, morro. Ve
Ahí
nomás.
está.
Lo que quitas, dile. Guacha lo que quita.
Pújale, pújale todo, pújale todo. Hijo de su madre,
Vale,
morro.
más que hubieras peleado, morro.
Pues sí, morro, me empujó la tristana, morro.
Ah, ok, pero yo según...
Me aventó-
yo pensé que había usado tu última para escapar. Dije yo, este vato,
No,
¿qué
morro,
corre?
no lo tengo,
Tiró para
morro.
atrás,
Lo
lo
tengo,
tiró
morro.
para atrás.
Se lo-
Dije,
Ya,
sí,
ya,
morro.
ya me ibas a dar carrilla, morro. Ya me vas a decir,
Sí, ya te
no
decía.
más color. Se te vio la carne. No, no, mijo, no, me empujó la ruca, morro. Uh.
Sí, morro.
Nico no quiere estar aquí cuando nosotros queremos.
¿Y gastó su ulti?
Tío, Simón.
Tipo, qué pedo. Está el azul ahí. Le tumbé el aje guardián, morro.
Simón, Simón, Simón.
Ahí está ya.
Ahí, salta del canal, salta del canal. Bueno,
Tanqué macizo, morro.
Simón, sí, sí.
Yo me recuperé, guacha, morro.
A la torre, morro. Bien.
¡Chora la bestia, morro! ¡Que viene la roca, morro! Ya vamos a ganar.
Ultéalo, morro. El vato quiere que lo ultees.
Ya iba para allá, morro. ¿Viste esa regeneración de vida, morro?
Simón.
Ufa.
No, ahora sí anduviste fino, morro.
No, mijo, te la rifaste, mijo. Como nunca habías jugado con la Neeko, morro, la neta. Mira, hasta 20 puntos me
20
dieron, morro.
puntos nos dieron, morro.
20
Simón.
puntos, morro.
¿Cuánto se había visto eso, morro?
Morro, ya teníamos rato, mijo.
Qué sardina.
Puro 11, 12, 13 cuando mucho, morro. Ahorita nos dieron 20, morro, la
20
vez.
puntotes, morro.
Esa es la clave, mijo. Si te vas a ir con la Neco medio, me voy Malfa y soporte. Vi jungla, me voy con la cena, morro.
Simón.
No, morro, qué buenos combos, morro. Pero ves, tengo que maltratarte, mijo, para que agarres la onda, mijo. Tengo que pasar maltratada, morro. ¿Ves?
Qué loco,
Me,
te pasa.
me obligas a hacer esto, morro. Y uno que quiere tratarte con cariño, morro, y tú no, a la vez. No, morro, muy buenos juegos, Hasta 20
Simón.
puntos, morro, no puedo
20
creerlo.
puntones.
Simón. Sale, carnal.
Ya
Ya me
está,
voy a ir a
morro.
jetear, morro.
Simón, Simón, Simón.
No, mañana, morro.
Simón, con el favor de Dios.